Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This can be another classic movie for you guys. This time reviewing to probably one of the most confusing movies I've ever seen in my life. I'm not kidding you guys. It's probably the most confusing movie I've ever seen in my life, but that's why it remains a classic, I think. And that movie is the 2001 drama fantasy classic Donnie Darko. Donnie Darko. This movie was always a movie I was very interested in. I was planning on watching this movie last year, but I was too weirded out by it. I just thought, oh, I don't want to really watch this. It looks really confusing. And I said, you know what? I'm finally going to sit down and I'm going to watch Donnie Darko. I don't care. I will sit down and I will watch it, and that's what I decided to do. And overall, what I think of Donnie Darko, I loved it. I thought it was a fantastic movie. I really, really loved it. I really loved Donnie Darko, and I thought it was a really great movie, and I'm glad I gave it a second chance because I really did love it. So what's Donnie Darko about? Honestly, it's kind of confusing. It basically focuses on this guy, Donnie, who he is very troubled. He's a very troubled teenager, Donnie Darko, and he starts having these weird visions of this large rabbit, basically, and this rabbit is telling him to do all these very dark things and things like that. And this all starts after a big shuttle almost crashes on their house, basically. There's like a huge storm that approaches and things like that, and basically the movie is what exactly is going on, because we really don't know what's going on, and I'll get to what's going on when we get to the analysis part of this review, which there will be a lot of analysis in this review, because, as I said, this is probably one of the most confusing movies I've ever seen in my life, and I'll explain why, but let's first get to the acting. The acting all across the board was very, very good. Jake Gyllenhaal as Donnie Darko. I think this might be my favorite performance from him. I think he did a really great job in this movie. I really loved his performance in this movie. Like, he was really, really good. I've not seen Enemy. I'll say it right now. Not seen Enemy. Why does Jake Gyllenhaal always get stuck doing confusing movies? I want to know that. Donnie Darko's confusing. Enemy's confusing. Like, why does he keep doing so many confusing movies? I don't care, because he's amazing in this. Probably my favorite performance from him, as I said. He did a really, really great job. You really saw that he was this really troubled teen that really didn't know what was going on or what he was doing half the time. He listened to what the rabbit told him to do, Frank the Rabbit, and I thought he did a really great job. Really, really great acting from him, and he was really, really good. Jenna Malone as his love interest, Gretchen. She was really good as well. I liked the chemistry between her and Donnie. I thought they had a lot of chemistry. She did a really, really great job, and I really enjoyed her acting as well. She was definitely very, very good. Not as good as Jake Gyllenhaal, but she still was very, very good, and I liked her performance overall. You could also kind of see she was kind of scared by Donnie. She didn't really know what was going on half the time, so I thought she did a really good job as well. Mary McDonnell as his mother and Holmes Osborne, I thought they were also really good. They really wanted to help their son and get the help, and I like that. Catherine Ross played his doctor, sort of like the therapist he's going to, because as I said, Donnie Darko has a lot of problems, and he's going to, a therapist and everything, so yeah, he's going to a therapist because he has a lot of problems, and yeah, he also did a very, very good job. But yeah, she was definitely very, very good. So yeah, she was really good as well. What I thought was interesting was his sister. The one that plays his sister is actually his sister in real life, and I thought that was clever casting. They casted Maggie Gyllenhaal, who is his real sister in real life, which was fun to see because, they have a lot of banter in the movie, and I thought that was actually really fun to watch because it's his actual sister. I'm pretty sure they probably, improv things and things like that because it's his actual sister, and she played his sister in the movie. I thought that was actually very well done and kind of clever the way they did that. That was really cool. James Duval played Frank, very important character. I thought, very important character. I thought he did a really great job as well. And the only other two people I'll mention is Drew Barrymore, who is his English teacher, who also did a really great job, and Patrick Swayze, who's also one of his teachers. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to, for the cast. Let's get to the spoilers and the analysis. Now, this movie, as I said, is one of the most confusing movies I've ever seen in my life, and I think that's just because of the way this movie's constructed. Now, what we need to talk about are three universes. Now, I have this online. This did not come from myself. I'm not thinking about this myself. This is not my own analysis. I've gotten this from online sources. I've read a ton about Donnie Darko. Last year even, I looked up stuff because I was completely confused. And basically, what we have to talk about is something called the primary universe, the tangent universe, and something called philosophy of time travel. Basically, the primary universe is just that. This is the universe we exist in right now. The universe you're in right now, that's the primary universe. However, um, what most of the movie takes place in is the tangent universe. Notice that things don't start to get very, very, really weird until that like shuttle ends up there. In the movie, there's a corruption in time. At midnight on October, they have that countdown and everything, and that's when the huge jet engine falls right through the time and lands in Donnie's bedroom, and that's kind of starting to show that basically that the tangent universe is not created by the jet engine. It's not created by the jet engine or Frank waking up Donnie. We're already within the tangent universe when both those events have occurred. But we never actually find out what caused the tangent universe to begin. So I think what kind of caused it to begin, I really don't know what caused it to begin, but basically we don't really know what caused it to begin, and I thought that's definitely very, very interesting. At the end of the movie, of course, things there. Frank, the rabbit is actually able to reverse it for Donnie. Now that's why Frank the rabbit kind of plays a huge role in this movie, because he's sort of Donnie's conscience in the movie. He kind of plays his conscience in the movie, and he's a very important figure in his life, because he's sort of the one that guides him throughout this movie, and he tells him to do bad things, yes, but in the end, he's also the one that has to return back to the primary universe, which, of course, in the primary universe, the shuttle actually ends up falling right on top of Donnie, and that's how he dies. Now, why is this reversed, you might be wondering? Why is this reversed in the tangent universe? Well, that's because the tangent universe made it happen, and basically, primary universe is what was supposed to happen to him, and I thought that was definitely very interesting. Now, I would compare this movie to Vanilla Sky, which was also released in 2001. Very similar to Donnie Darko. Is this movie like Vanilla Sky? In many ways, yes. The difference is Donnie Darko, this universe actually happened, and in Vanilla Sky, it was all in his head. That's the difference. But it was not all in his head. That's very important to know. Now, let's talk about some other things. First of all, there's the artifact. The artifact in this movie is the shuttle. Basically, according to the philosophy of time travel, when a tangent universe is created, an artifact will also spontaneously appear. And the artifact's actually the first sign of evidence that a tangent universe has been created and are always made from metal. And in this case, the artifact is actually a giant jet engine. That's the kind of the thing that kind of starts the whole tangent universe. And the artifact makes the tangent universe unstable. It can't handle having the anatomy of a duplicate object within it. And in order for the tangent universe to unravel without forming a black hole, it must once again be an exact copy of the actual universe. So basically, by removing one of the duplicate jet engines, it balances out the universe, allowing the tangent universe to collapse safely. And then there's the living receiver, who in this case is Donnie. Donnie's the chosen one. He was selected, the living receiver. And by the way, I'm getting all this information from online, guys, so that's why I'm reading right now. It's actually his mission to guide the artifact out of the tangent universe. And basically, here's the three things he has to do. He uses strength to bury the axe into the school water pipe and and solid bronze mascot. He uses fire to burn the Jim Cunningham's house down. He floods the school and constructs a time portal from water. And uses telekinesis to rip the jet engine off the plane to send it through the time portal and basically make everything that happened in the tangent universe not happen, and then it goes back to the primary universe. Now, he's not aware of his responsibilities at first, pretty much, and he doesn't even know he is within the tangent universe, and as his journey continues, he slowly starts to realize what is going on and what he must do. Then there's the thing called the manipulated dead. Now, in this case, that is Frank, the rabbit. Now, he is killed in the tangent universe, and therefore, he becomes one of the manipulated dead. He travels back in time and helps Donnie with his quest to return the artifact, and the first thing he must do is to save Donnie by waking him up before he gets squashed by the jet engine. And he's kind of like the reverse ghost who appears before he was killed. And Gretchen is also manipulated dead, but she doesn't appear to Donnie in the same way. So she's also manipulated dead. Now, the manipulated living are all the people connected to the living receiver. They're actually the manipulated living. By the way, the manipulated dead are the people who are very powerful and have the ability to move through time and talk to the living receiver through a fourth-dimensional construct. Now, remember, at the very end of the movie, Gretchen actually waves to Donnie's mom. So obviously she remembers what happened and she's just pretending she doesn't know. So that's very important to note as well. There's a, very there's a lot more to talk about here, but basically, the theory states that by the end of the film, we see a vortex appear over Donnie's house, and it's the beginning of the tangent universe collapsing and is centered over where it began, and that's basically what it's trying to say. So, basically, though, the one thing to know is that Donnie did not have to die in order for the tangent universe to start again. It's actually, it has nothing to do with that. Instead, it's all about, that's basically what it's all about. It's all about that theory, which I know is very complex and very confusing, but that's basically what they're trying to say about this movie. It's just that, it has to do with the tangent universe, and I know that's probably the hardest analysis I've ever done, but as I said, this is one of the most confusing movies I've ever seen. Now let's get to the directing. The director is Richard Kelly to this movie, and he did a very good job. I thought he was really, really good in the movie. He, I believe, did a couple other movies. He did Southland Tales. That's the only other thing he did that was really big, and The Box as well. I might check about those out, but I don't know. Donnie Darko. I think this is probably his best one that he did, and he definitely did do a very good job with that. Also, the song Mad World at the end fits the movie very, very well. The movie has a very dark tone throughout the whole movie. It's very, dark throughout the whole movie. That's why the movie's called Donnie Darko, not just because that's his name, but it's because it's very, very dark as well. And I'll say this to you guys. If you guys are not looking to pay attention to a movie, do not watch this movie, because this, as I said, I didn't say this before, if you are not watching this movie for like 5 seconds, you are going to have no idea what's going on. The first like 5 minutes, fine, but after the shuttle crashes, you really need to pay attention to what's going on, or else you're not going to understand. But overall, I really enjoyed Donnie Darko. I thought it was a really great movie. I really enjoyed it a lot. I really hope you guys check it out. It is hard to understand at points, yes, but I really did enjoy it. But that's been my review. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be for another classic movie review. So see you guys for that. Okay, bye.